Now we're live. You have to come sit by me. We can Periscope. See who's going to join us. See when the numbers go up here, people join. And Brittany just joined, and Michelle. Hi, y'all. Happy fall. Happy Saturday. Say hi to Isabella. Isabella, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
She's just going to Periscope with me today because I'm at her house for a little bit. She wants to show you guys something. Look here. Look, isn't that cute? And it says happy fall. And look at what you drew. Want to tell people about it?
I draw some leaves and some pumpkins.
Leaves and pumpkins. Aunt Brittany and Faith said hi. And Sade said, that's so creative. That's so pretty. Yeah. Y'all, I love Brooke's chalkboard up here too. If you guys have never seen it, it's right behind me. Isn't that cute? She's got this really big chalkboard. And she always puts whatever the theme is for the month up there. And Brooke even did that little painting behind us, so that's kind of fun. Do you have anything else you want to show people? Have your artwork? Do you love artwork? What's your favorite thing to do, huh?
I want to color a picture right now.
Okay, you color a picture right now.
Nina,
Oh, here comes Sophia.
I just finished my story.
You finished your story. Do you have anything to show anybody of something that you made? Did you make a chalkboard or anything special for fall?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, you can show us.
The
You guys get your questions ready because today is Q&A, and I do have some questions of people who asked me some questions. Okay, here's Sophia's. Just hold it like this and I'll put the camera to you. There you go. You want to tell people about what you made?
So I did leaves, a pumpkin, and wrote fall.
Leaves, a pumpkin, and wrote fall.
And I did pink around the edges.
Very pretty. The
And
pink
there's
around the
and
edges
there's
is
white-
nice. A border.
And there's a white, white
Ribbon.
ribbon, but it's like a little bit. It's like clear.
I like it. I like your leaves too. They're really pretty. And your pumpkin, you did sort of like a jack-o'-lantern. You made a face on it.
Yeah.
A happy face.
And I just made. I just made a story.
You made a story? Oh, she wrote a story too. Can you tell me the story after we Periscope?
Okay.
Okay, because I have some questions to answer. So, y'all, I don't know if you have any questions, but if you do, go ahead and type them in, and I'll be happy to answer that because Saturday is always Q&A. And so I have had some questions this week about relationships and also abusive relationships because that's what we were talking about. So if you guys, all week, if you guys didn't watch that, you can catch the replay. Also, we're still celebrating, getting excited for Thanksgiving, right, Sophia? Yeah. So I hope that you guys are just using this as an opportunity to be super grateful and to just help your children and your grandchildren just do lots of crafts about gratitude and being thankful. So I've been enjoying doing like a 30 days of thanks on my social media this week. So that's been fun. I'm going to walk out here, girls. I'll be right back, okay? Be right back.
What are you doing?
I'm going to walk out front just for a minute. I'll be right back. I promise.
Can I go with you?
No, you stay here, okay? Be right back. I have to walk out here because I've been talking about abusive relationships. So I just wanted to answer a couple of questions. I've been talking about alcoholism the last couple of days. No, there's not information about my counseling services. I live in Grapevine, and so right now I've got a waiting list. Maybe when I clear off that waiting list, I can go ahead and offer services on my website. But right now, boy, my time is limited. Hey, thank y'all for the hearts. Hi, Claudia. Okay, so I did have a few questions this week about abuse. So I had a lady ask about what she should do when her husband goes out at night drinking with his friends. And, you know, it's really difficult because you don't really have the power to make him not do that if that's what he has chosen to do. But you do have the power of how to respond and how to hopefully encourage him to get help. So if that's something that he wants to do on a regular basis, once you ask him the plans, you know, hey babe, so what are your plans tonight? And he says he's gonna go to a bar drinking with his friends. The next thing you need to say is, oh, that's too bad because I would really like to do something fun. and if he just says no, I'm not interested, I've already made his plan, say okay, well maybe next time the two of us can go see a baseball game or something that he likes, or maybe just the two of us can go. Exactly, you don't want to be a nagging wife about it, or it's not gonna, that just don't work. If it worked, great, but that never works. So you could always make a suggestion of an alternative, but other than that, just I also want you to, although I don't want you to nag, I do want you to communicate clearly. I would rather you not. I would rather us do something that we could do together. And if he's just not having it, lots of times men are really afraid that women are going to be, that wives are going to become like a mother and really, want to monitor their behavior. And y'all just have to remember that personal growth is just that, it's personal. So my advice to her was to offer an alternative and then to clearly communicate, I would rather you not. It's just a negative environment, and I just wouldn't want anything to happen. Sometimes it can be unsafe and really negative, and I just wish that we could do something a little bit more fun and positive tonight. And as it turned out, he went anyway, and so he came back, he was drunk, and she had locked the door, and she's just like, what do I do now? Well, it's okay to just hold your ground. So regardless of what he does, I just said, he got mad at her because she locked the door and he said to leave it unlocked. So I just said, there's nothing wrong with that. She had said that she texted him and said, when you get home, the door's locked. So she communicated that would be her goal. And then, if he gets mad, he gets mad. There's nothing you can do about it. He's a big boy. He can use his key, or he could text you and ask you to get up and unlock it. But for him to just be mad that it's locked, it is what it is. Just don't get mad back if he's going to continue to be that way. The main thing is you can just control yourself. Personal growth is just that. It's personal. And if he's not willing to grow up personally right now and take personal responsibility to make better choices and make more mature decisions of how to spend his weekend, you basically just have to wait for it. But the main thing is to not let your own self be affected. So I told her, hey, lock the door, go to bed, get a good night's sleep, and, just tomorrow, just start all over again. And also, whenever he is not, don't ever try to talk to a person who is drunk about being sober, because you don't talk about fire prevention in the middle of a fire. It's just pointless. So also, but when they're having their hangover, like the next morning, is actually a good time to talk about it. So maybe fix a big breakfast or over the breakfast table, or bring them a cup of coffee. And then you can say, it's not in your best interest to be out partying and drinking and going to a bar at night. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to consider a lot of different options. There's groups at church, there's AA, there's lots of different options. But or maybe we can go to counseling together and you can figure out what you're really trying to cope with or what you're really trying to avoid. But there's lots of options. So, you don't have to go to AA, but it's a great option if that's what you want to do. But let's think about what we can do differently, and if there's anything I can do to help support you, because it's really unfortunate that you would rather go to a bar than for us to do something together as a couple or as a family. So when they are at the next morning, at their hangover time, is a better time to talk about it. So I hope that helps. That was the advice that I gave her, and maybe that will help some of you. Of course, that can be reversed if it's the girl that's out drinking or whatever. So it can always go both ways. So I hope that's helpful. Also had another client this week who's in an abusive situation, and she was wanting to know the very first step to get out. Again, this could be a male or a female, but I've been talking about abuse this week. Whose house is verbally abusive. He says he's working on it, but he's not. Okay, I would just tell her she's got to be willing to walk away. So anytime, Bree, that he is in, I had a client going through this also. Anytime he gets in he's having a tantrum and he is swearing at her, she just has to clearly communicate, I'm not going to tolerate you swearing with me. And she literally has to pick up the kids and be willing to leave, like walk out immediately. Hopefully she can go to her mom's or to your house or to a friend's or to a neighbor's house or something, but don't stand there and take it. Like literally get your step and walk away. Say, I'm not going to be your punching bag, verbally or physically. So, If you're going to swear at me, you know, I'm not, somebody who loves me isn't supposed to be swearing at me and yelling at me and verbally abusing me and attacking me. So as soon as you do that next time, I am walking away. I'm walking away. So, and then literally she does not need to say another word. The very next time it happens, she's just got to do it. She doesn't even have to say one word. Put everybody in the car and just simply drive away. But she does need to have an exit plan, because the more you tolerate, the more it will continue, and it doesn't go away when you continue to tolerate it. So you just got to know there's consequences for that kind of behavior, and it's not okay. A girl yesterday had a very abusive situation in her house. Her husband had drug paraphernalia all over. Their 3-year-old and their 6-year-old were like picking up needles and all sorts of drug paraphernalia. There was loaded guns all over the house and under beds and drawers that the kids could get to, you know. So she had to figure out an exit plan. You know, that's really dangerous behavior. I wish it wasn't that way. It's tragic. But you have to pick up the kids and go. So if that is the case, and you know somebody with a case like that, oh, it's so sad. It is so sad. But it's even sadder to stay and put your kids at risk, especially when someone is very abusive. They're verbally abusive. They're violent with the pets. I said to her, is he abusing the kids also? And she said, no, he's never hurt the kids. And I said, does he tickle them excessively? And they say stop, and then he won't stop. She said, yeah, he does that actually. And I said, okay, that's abuse. That's aggression, and it's abuse. And if someone is tickling your kids excessively and not stopping, that's abusive, and it's wrong. So they you know, you do need to protect your kids, especially when there's things with drug paraphernalia and loaded weapons. I mean, obviously you're not going to walk away if they're tickling, but you do need to protect them. If you observe someone doing that to them, that's a sign of aggression. Don't allow people to tickle your kids excessively. It is aggressive behavior, and you need to protect your kids from that. So she asked what her first step was, and I said the first step is you put your kids in the car. When he goes to work, you put your kids in the car, you pack bags, and you guys drive straight to a shelter. So she did go to an emergency shelter for domestic violence abuse victims, and it was full. So of course then, now what? Well, it's full, but go ahead while you're there in the waiting room, call the police and file your report while you're there, while you're protected, because he threatened to kill her and the kids while you're protected. And then, you know, she was able to find a friend that he did not know. You know, she changed her email address. She got rid of her phone and you know, so that she could just report it to the police, but go somewhere safe while she's waiting to get into a shelter. So you got to have an exit plan, because we can't control anyone else, but we have to accept the things that we can't change. But we have to change the things we can. So I was not fun to talk about tough issues this week: abuse, alcoholism, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and addictions. And abuse and addictions always go together. Addicted people become abusers, or already are, and abusive people very often are also addicted. So you suggest that they get help, but you also draw the line and say, I can't tolerate it. It's not right. It's not in their own best interest for you to tolerate it. It makes you codependent. Now remember, if you are working on somebody else's problems harder than they're working on their own problems, then that means that you're codependent. There's a great book called Codependent No More. You may want to pick up a copy of that. And I forget the author, but it's a really good book. Codependent No More. Just Google it. You'll find it. Because you don't want to work on somebody else's problems harder than they're working on their own. Oh, actually, another client this week, a former client, but reoccurring problem with alcoholism, was the opposite. The woman was the alcoholic. The man is the one being abused. And you know, he doesn't want to give up on her. He doesn't want to give up on the marriage. He doesn't want to give up on her recovery. But you know, he's working harder on her problem than she's working on her own problem. She doesn't consider it to be a problem anymore. At one point, she did. She said she was an alcoholic. She was very involved in AA, and now she got in with a group of friends that drank, and she decided to go ahead and start drinking again, and she did. Very slippery slope. And so she's, like the Bible says, Proverbs 29, It's a snake, and it will bite you in the end. So don't play with that. Don't play with snakes. And then if you do play with snakes, don't be surprised when you're going to get bit, and reread Proverbs 29, okay? So I hope that helps with those questions. Just wanted to let you know the questions that have come into me this week about those situations. Now I'm going to go back in and let the grandkids tell you guys what they're working on. So welcome to the life of a counselor, right? I'm always juggling counseling and trying to keep it kid appropriate and friendly. So here we go. Okay, girls, I'm back. Do you have something to show me?
Can I read you my story now?
Okay, where is it?
I'm going to read it.
Okay. Hi, Priya.
I wrote it.
Okay, well, let me tell my Periscopers goodbye if they're going to sign off. Priya, want to say hi to Periscopers? Hi. And there's the baby doll. There we go. For you guys who need to check out my website, check out TrinaTitusLozano.com. And thank y'all for Periscoping. By the way, you can fast forward and rewind on Periscope these days. And so that's really cool. Periscope app is getting better and better all the time. And if you like Periscope, then y'all keep joining me at noon and 9 every day. Tomorrow I'll be praying, and I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight. Okay, so for those of you who are really interested, we're going to read a story and see a picture. Okay, Sophia, read your story.
On Periscope?
Yeah.
Okay. The Story of the Lost Princesses by Sophia Lane Saylor.
Wow. I think Mimi and Aunt Brittany are watching. Go ahead.
Once upon a time, there lived 4 princesses. Their names were Sophia, Isabella, Brielle, and Lily. Sophia was the smartest one. She loved reading and math. Their mom thought the forest was very dangerous, and it was. But one day, all 4 princesses decided to go into the forest anyway. Guess what? They got lost.
Okay, can you stop and pause just a minute? Because I'm just about out of time, so people are going to have to tune in later to see what's going to happen. Okay, this is actually a pretty long story, but we like the creativity.
It's not a long one.
Okay, hold on. Well, we're out of time anyway. Okay, let's see. There we go. There's that picture. You want to explain it?
I draw a rainbow with 2 clouds, and I put the red at the bottom because I didn't want there to be that much white space.
She doesn't like white space, so she colors in everything, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the pink, I didn't want to just leave the pink there, so I put some red right there. I put red on the sides. And then I put some blue for the sky because it's called sky blue. And I put some turquoise for the clouds.
Very pretty. Good job.
Okay.
Let's say goodbye to everybody, and then I'll read the rest of the story. Bye, y'all. Thanks for Periscoping. I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight. Say goodbye. Okay, Brielle's going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good baby saying
There's 3 people.
Baby saying bye.
Story is like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so now can I finish the story, Tia?
Oops.
Mom started.